Hey guys, welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade, and this is what we eat in a week. So these were hot and spicy chicken burgers with all the bits and bobs. The rabbit food, the mayo, cheese. This was a pork belly, it was a whole joint. Some roasted carrots, potatoes, and some green beans. These were nachos with a side of frozen chips just done in the air fryer. Jacket potatoes with tuna and cheese, and rabbit food. So this is obviously not mine, it's Steve's. So these are pork shoulder steaks, and I'm just cooking them in their marinade. Now I will link this recipe because this is one of the ones I first did on the channel, and it's a full video, and I think there's a lot of you that are probably like this. So they have a marinade, and they were sat in it all day. So I'm just cooking them 3/4 of the way. You can see to the bottom of the screen there is another bowl of liquid there. That is for the rice, the basmati rice. I'm just scooping up as much of that marinade as I can there. Taking them off for the minute. Now, this is for the rice. So this recipe is enough for 2 people. So if you've got 4 or 6 people in your family, obviously double it. I've got my basmati rice there. Don't look like a lot, does it? But it's more than enough. And coming from a dustbin, I must be right. My star anise in the bag. And I am still recording bits and bobs for the tea bags that I make, so it is coming. I apologise if you hear my phone going off. I am waiting for an important phone call this morning, so I have to keep it next to me. So all I'm doing is covering that basmati rice in all of that flavour. This is chicken stock, and I'm going to add it in because obviously basmati rice needs liquid to cook. Still got a bit of that stock powder at the bottom. And this is a baked recipe. So obviously I'm not giving you measurements on that because I'll just link the entire video in the description underneath. But this baked Chinese rice is really nice. The chili flakes in it are optional, but I stopped buying regular chili flakes and buy Korean chili flakes. Now you get, with Korean chili flakes, if you're like me and you don't like too much heat, they're perfect because they're not too hot, but they've got flavour. So there is a difference with them. So as soon as I put them in and it's bubbling, put the lid on and it goes into the oven. And that is it when it comes out. It is so good. And some black sesame seeds. So yeah, if that looks like your type of thing, then the video for it is in the description. So what we're on now, we're on Sunday. We've got pork loin joint today. Well, yesterday. A full roast dinner. And there is also chocolate orange cheesecake, which I will put the entire recipe underneath in the description. and it's a baked chocolate orange. So we didn't eat that yesterday. It's been in the fridge overnight. So what I'm doing is voicing over now, and I'm going to cut it when Steve gets back off the school run, and then just add that photo in at the end here, so you can see what it's like. What happened to these coming in a 4-pack? Right, you can see I'm using some different knives here. Let me tell you. Ooh. They get through anything. Anything. This is the paring knife, and I'm using it to chop all my veggies up, including my root veggies and that. It is so good. I will show you. It might be in the week. Maybe in the week. The entire block and all the knives that come with it. Because it comes with 5 steak knives as well. Yeah, I'll show you that during the week. So, just done a bit of white cabbage. The cabettes, there's some chantenays going in. And I'm doing it nice and delicate. Once I've cut it, watch how delicate. There we go. Tender stem. I didn't use all of this. I'm leaning now. Look, I've had enough. I always tell when I've had enough. The leaning starts. These knives look at the handles. They look so pretty as well. So the tender stems in. I do add some, I was going to say green onions then. That'd be a bit odd, wouldn't it? Some green beans as well to the steamer. I just did the usual pot. Long edges on them roast potatoes. And then I did a little amount of regular white potatoes in the pan for mashed potato. And my dog enjoyed her lunch again yesterday. Bless her. So, stuffing's cooled down. I'm adding in the pork and Bramley apple sausage meat. If you want that flavour but you ain't got them that sausage meat, regular pork sausage, just add in some apple sauce if you've got that. That would give you a nice flavour. And I don't fuss about with this too much. Just make sure it's all mixed together, and then I've sprayed that. That's not an unwashed pan. That's sprayed with oil to make sure that they don't stick. And ever so gently and elegantly, look, I put them in. I'm such a delicate person, look. So that's those done. Now, roast potatoes need coating, because it's that time of day and they need to go in the air fryer. And again, my delicateness shines through. I don't show you all of them. You know how this goes. How I'll get them coated. That's the pork loin, and it was beautiful. Again, I keep getting asked about the coating. Just message me if you want the batch recipe for the coating for the roast potatoes. And it is for a large batch. Stored in an airtight container, it will last for a while. Just seasoning up the pork. Also, I've got a buy me a coffee link now, guys, in the description, and then I'll be putting it in the whatchamacallit. I'll pin it in the comment section. If you would like to buy me a coffee to support the channel, or buy the dog a treat, I'm going to be uploading some pictures and stuff onto the Buy Me a Coffee page. Not required, but there if you fancy helping out. So all I was doing is putting the thermometer in, and I was setting the temperature to 64. So I'm making, by setting it, the temperature, I mean a lot of you probably have thermometers like that. It sits outside the cooker, but the probe stays in the meat, and I don't have to do anything to it. It just tells me when the meat reaches the right temperature and I can take it out. So I'm doing a biscuit base. I've lined it with foil for easy removal. This is a, what is it? I think, I'm not sure, I'd have to check. I don't know if that's 20 centimetre or 23. Might be 23. The amounts will be in the description. So I've just crushed up all the digestives. Ginger nuts would be nice in this because it's a chocolate orange cheesecake. I'm just grating in the zest of an orange. And then I'll add the melted butter and the usual, press it into the tin. So we'll mix that in. And we're gonna pop it into the tin, and then we bake it gas mark 4 for 15 minutes once it's all pressed down. So it's got a slight crisp to it. So you must make sure that these are room temperature, especially for this recipe, because you've got melted chocolate with this recipe. So if you added hot or slightly too warm melted chocolate to this cream cheese mixture, it sees. That's why you really do need to have them at room temperature. I don't bother so much with like lemon ones and that, but I do make sure if I'm adding like liquid chocolate to something like this. Mix that in. You're not saying my stand mixer making an appearance for a while. No, it's not broken. Just didn't need it. So this is a baked, I don't know if I said that, baked cheesecake. First time I've used this egg separator. Can't say I like it much. Look! Separated it alright. Separated my yolk and all. Which meant I couldn't use these 2 egg whites, but whatever. Swapped hands because I did have it in the wrong hand, to be perfectly honest. And I can't crack an egg. Cannot crack an egg one-handed. I barely managed it with 2 hands. Look at the difference in colour in them yolks. Give them a good old mix through. When this bakes, you've got to leave it to cool with the door propped open in the oven. Turn the oven off and just leave it. And then once it's cooled down altogether, refrigerate it overnight. And you get that nice thick baked cheesecake. Oh, love it. Although I'm adding zest in, I have added some Valencian orange extract as well. Please don't, if you've got no extract, don't put essence in. It's just not, it's not the same thing. You're better off leaving it. And that's the cheesecake mixture. Now the corn flour, I've found, stops it from splitting. So I had 2 tablespoons of that. It stops the baked cheesecake from splitting. Just make sure it's well incorporated. Right. Now, I made a mistake using them morsels and the block chocolate together. Because morsels, and it never occurred to me at the actual time, because I was just trying to get everything done. Morsels don't melt the same way as the regular chocolate, so it's a lot harder to get them to melt. Anyway, I melted it, waited for it to cool down to just about room temperature. So I'm just adding in a bit of that cream, so that chocolate's going to be the same temperature going into that bowl as the cream is, the cheesecake filling. So mix and add in. Put some more of that cream in. Get what's left out of that bowl. And in the whisk. Just do it over the bowl now because it can make a bit of a mess. The morsels, as I said, was a bit of a pain. Eventually I got them melted, but yeah, it was a bit of a pain. That's why I was just double checking while I was whisking it. All you do is whisk this through. It does all mix through. It's a lot of cheesecake mixture, so just keep going. And there we go, look. And it'll get nice and thick. Already getting luscious and thick, look, and you've not even baked it yet. You'll see it when it comes out of the oven, and then obviously after I've done this voiceover, I'll cut it, take a picture, and you will obviously see the end result as well. But it's such a good cheesecake. So doing this in the usual way that I do it in a water bath. Just knock any air out. About a quarter of the way up the tin. Tin went in the oven. 1 hour, 15 minutes. There was the roast dinner. Crispy potatoes. Horrible parsnips. That's Pooch's before she gets a bit of gravy. That's the cheesecake as it comes out of the oven and is cooled down. when I serve it, obviously I'm going to put some cream on the top, some little swirls of cream, and it's a nice thick cheesecake. So yeah, thank you so much if you got right to the end, guys. That's what we had this week for tea. Recipes will be below. Don't forget, if you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee. And yeah, I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye bye.